Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Everybody's working for the weekend. Taking care of business every day. Now it's wow, 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 wow. Welcome to the working week.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Minimum wage.
Okay, we're here
I think
for
you were
another.
live with that. Stop fading. But
All right, well we're
Start
ready to
fading.
go. Here we go. So another monthly edition of the Working Lunch, the show that delves into issues related to workforce development, job training, and the local economy here in Worcester. As always, I'm Jeff Turgeon with the Central Mass Workforce Investment Board, and I have with me, as usual, our co-host extraordinaire.
keep it going. Keep it coming.
Sean McGauley. Sean, how are we doing?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking your lunch break with us. We appreciate that. Hope you have something good for lunch today.
Hey, did you guys know that this program is Nielsen rated #1 by the people in our office for this time slot?
For this time,
Wow.
well, you know,
There's a lot to compete with, too.
that's true. There's a lot of entertainment and information options out there. So to be tuning into the Working Lunch, I'd like to think it's an investment in their future. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
It's not just listening. It's an investment.
I've heard people say that the month doesn't begin until they hear our show.
Oh, that's interesting. So when does it end? It ends like the day before our show.
1 o'clock.
Yeah. So well, we do have a lot to chat about as usual, and a lot going on this time of year. Fall is traditionally a lot going on. A lot of town fairs. A lot happening out in the community. I know you're such a big fan of the town fair.
Gotta love the town fair.
What's your favorite one?
Douglas Oktoberfest, I think, would be my favorite, which I think we've talked about. There's no traditional Oktoberfest with beer. And
So it's like Oktoberfest without anything that is traditional to an Oktoberfest.
Well, it's Oktoberfest spelt with a C instead of a K, your traditional K for the German.
So we're celebrating the month of October.
It's just a festival, and they need a name for it, an Oktoberfest. It just seems to be...
It seems to have a ring to
work.
it. Well,
Well,
that's.
I mean,
I guess what I'm getting at is that's a very uncommon approach, if you will, to the Oktoberfest. And we also had another uncommon event happen recently.
Great segue.
One of the best segues of radio history.
Yeah,
we had
the Uncommon Job Fair.
That's right. We had a job fair, and instead of doing the traditional job fairs done, kind of in a room, and you've got employers behind a table, you've got job seekers walking up to the table, they maybe interact a bit, they get a chance to chat, but a very formal,
exactly.
very formal state affair, if you will. And so one of our business service reps at the local Workforce Central Career Center had attended an event out in, I think, Holyoke.
Yep.
Which was kind of a different. It's kind of more of a
New take on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like an outdoor fair, kind of mixed with a job fair, or festival mixed with a job fair. So kind of brought back that concept, and together with a lot of local partners, helped pull off a really neat event here in Worcester, right there on the Worcester Common. It was a job fair, but the format
outdoor.
was very much more casual. Festival-like. We had some music. We had food.
We had Jeff behind the grill cooking up hot dogs.
I don't want to brag, but those are some pretty good dogs.
I didn't hear
cooked
any
up.
complaints about the hot dogs.
Oh, that's good.
And they went quick. We had over 800 hot dogs.
Well, I don't think it was that many. About 700 hot dogs. I don't want to overstate the hot dog count. I don't want, in
Excuse me.
case there's someone out there that's keeping track. I
Hot
don't
dog
want to.
count.
But we did have over 800 attendees.
Yep.
And they were interacting with more than 40 business representatives, and the interaction itself was a bit less formal. A round table structure out there on Worcester Common, a chance to kind of more or less, in some ways, kind of network more than just that kind of interchange of information or whatnot. So
Yeah, and I think it's also important to note the relationship between the private sector in our organization. I mean, we had businesses donating buns. We had donations from Frito-Lay of chips. We had water, everything. So it's just nice to see them giving back and getting involved. Really
right.
standing behind this kind of event.
We did, any type of event like this, major event, you do have a lot of, people kind of involved, both on the planning end and also the implementation. I mean, I can't thank enough the folks at the Department of Public Works for Worcester. They had a crew. They have a crew down at City Hall. Ralph Menendez and Scott Babbage. Also, the city DPW electrician helped us out. That's Steve Duffy helped pipe music through, so there's a nice festival feel to it. There's some music in the background. Again, I mentioned the food, and we also had help from Mike Powell over at City Hall, who kind of manages. He's part of the city's asset management department, and so he helped us, get some tables and bring them out for us and set those up with chairs and whatnot. So a whole lot of folks pitching in. We also had some not only the staff at Workforce Central come out to help out with the event, but also staff from the career centers. There's 30 career centers statewide, 3 here in Central Mass. So not only did the staff from Central Mass come out for that, but also statewide we had several volunteers from other career centers. So it was a really neat.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody coming together and helping out, because we had less time to plan this than some of the bigger events we do, like the job fair at the DCU Center. Right. Planning's going on now, and that happens in April. This was something that the idea came about. We said, hey, we got to do an event like this, and
luckily the weather was great. So it was just all around. It was a super event there on the Common, and I know that a couple other people we should probably be thanking. The lead kind of planning team for this was John McCarthy over at Workforce Central, along with Amy Mosier, and again several other staff. Wendy Gould also played a big role in planning it out. We had a lot of local partners step up, business partners step up and donate
huge,
things. A few come to mind. I don't want to miss anybody, but I know that Frito-Lay had donated.
Yeah, John and I went up to Frito-Lay, and they said, 800 bags of chips, right? And I don't know if you know what 800 bags of chips look like.
And these weren't the really small bags. These were good size. These were like full.
Yep.
I want to say like 3-ounce bags.
Yeah. Coca-Cola, expert staffing. I mean, the list goes on.
Polar beverage.
Yeah.
And then we had Wegmans had given us a nice opportunity there. I'm looking at our
hand signals coming.
There's some hand signals going on. You had 5 bags of chips. Is that Bob Zukowski's?
5 bags of chips are 5 minutes and whatever. 5 bags of chips in 5 minutes.
Is that
Bob's running a tight ship today.
Yeah, I think he's keeping us on task here. We do have an interview coming up, so I think he wants us to make sure we're able to go in. But speaking of interviews, I'm like the master of the segue today.
Yeah, it's
speaking
really
of interviews.
Well, you've been doing this for a couple months now. You've got the flow down.
Well, I also should mention I do practice this a bit at home. So I'll go home and I'll say to my wife, Kim, I'll say, these peas are delicious. And speaking of other things that are delicious, how about that dessert coming up? And so you practice the segues in your everyday life.
Life segues.
Yes, I guess you could say life segues, but you practice them on a daily basis and you get really good at it. Sir?
How many employees were there?
We had more than 40. See, that wasn't as good of a segue.
That was choppy.
That was a bit choppy.
Well.
So I think we want to work about Mr. Zukowski, our producer extraordinaire. But,
producer extraordinaire, yes.
We did have more than 40 employers there. And we did get a couple of them. Sean had a chance to talk with some. I was kind of busy cooking hot dogs.
Yeah, you were busy on the grill, so I had some time to sit down with a couple of employers. So,
and so are we ready to roll that interview?
We could, if you'd like. We could do that right now.
Well, I think it's about that time. Right?
You could chat a little bit more, but it's up to you.
Actually, so interesting note.
Before we head to that, yes.
Before we get to that,
when I was doing the interview with one of the employers, this guy walks by. So I'm on camera, I'm live, I'm talking with the.
Is this the Dick Cheney kind of interview moment? I don't know if you know that story.
No. This was a moment, though.
It was a moment. So what happened?
So I'm it's on the comm, and everybody's kind of walking around as I'm doing this interview.
Yeah.
And this guy walks up, and he just goes, "Hey, man, your fly's undone." Mid-interview. And
it's being videotaped, too.
It's being videotaped, so I didn't know whether
Was
my fry
Jessica
actually done.
videotaping?
She was
Because I would think the natural reaction of the camera person would be to actually
and I don't know
like
if
pan down and see.
So we'll have to put that on the blooper reel, and maybe we can discuss
So
that.
and did anyone skip a beat? Did everyone stop the interview?
That was the great part, is we just kept going. It's like it didn't even happen. So I don't know if she panned to the guy like, hey, and, like,
you know what happens if the professional all of a sudden, instead of panning down, right up to the sky.
Up to the sky, yeah. We don't want to be encouraging such shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
Well, I was proud of myself for not checking, because if somebody says your fly's down, you immediately go to
Of course, why wouldn't you?
I had the restraint to not.
You weren't even wearing
camera.
pants, I believe, at the time. You were like, fly down? How could it be? I'm not even wearing pants.
Joke's on you, man.
Okay, I think we're ready now to go to the. On that note, so part of this interview,
it might be a little choppy depending on the editing of it.
Oh,
so that's why I wanted to.
You're setting this up. If there's a choppy
editing segue.
There you go.
We're here now at the Uncommon Job Fair on the Common. It's a beautiful, unseasonably warm day today, and I'm here with Ann from Noria Energy. Ann, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. So, what do you think of the job fair so far?
I love it. I always go to the Worcester Workforce Central job fairs. Been going to them for like 4 or 5 years, so they're great. Great turnout, great people. Find a lot of people for our company for the job fairs there.
Absolutely. I see a lot of good candidates coming around. I think I snapped some pictures of you earlier, taking some resumes and everything.
Yeah, good, quite a few.
And so, Ann, what does Noria Energy do?
We actually own and operate 120 gas stations / convenience stores throughout New England.
Okay.
Mostly Shell stations, but we also have Irving and Gulf.
And you guys are a local Worcester company,
Yes, we're on Clark Street in Worcester. We've been there probably since 2008. We moved to Worcester. We were from Shrewsbury, but we moved to Worcester.
And what kind of positions are you looking for? Looking to hire for?
Looking for actually cashiers, sales associates, assistant managers, and managers for our stations in the local area. We have quite a few in Worcester, Auburn, Shrewsbury, Oxford, Southbridge, kind of in the local area. We also have others in the North Shore, South Shore, and Gardner, but they're all over Massachusetts. But we're looking for some good candidates, some people that want to grow the company. A lot of our managers, our district managers, started off as cashiers and grew to area managers and district managers. So a lot of our office staff actually were cashiers at one point too. So
yeah, absolutely. And I hear you looking. I heard you say good candidates. So what would make a good candidate? Are there certain skills or backgrounds that are required, or
we do a lot. We train our cashiers and our assistant managers and managers. We have a manager training program, but we're looking for outgoing people with good customer service skills that can portray a company, because we really we love customer service. We like to give customer service. We're very quality driven and customer service driven. Our service stations are impeccable inside and out. We try to keep our stations nice and neat. So we all want our employees to treat every customer like you want to be treated. So we're looking for people that are outgoing and then they want to grow with the company.
Well, I hope you find some good people today.
I think we did.
Great, and I appreciate you coming out. It's support from employers like you that keeps these things going and get job seekers to come. And the idea is to get people back to work. So we appreciate your commitment, Ann.
Always looking for good people. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm here now with Karen from A. Schulman. Karen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So first, I would like to ask you about what A. Schulman does. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that?
So A. Schulman, our group is called Custom Compounding New England, and we are a compounder of plastic. So we buy other people's resin, and we use a process called extrusion. So we melt that resin, we add things to it like colorants or additives, and then sell that plastic in a form that looks like a popcorn kernel. So it's called a pellet. We sell it to people like injection molders, and then they make the product. So maybe it's razors or golf balls. We sell to customers who end up in automotive interior trim, electrical components, just all kinds of
So your stuff is all over the place?
All over the place, yeah, across all kinds of markets.
Great. And what kind of candidates are you looking for today? What kind of positions do you have open?
Today we are hiring directly for production personnel. So they're very entry level. The requirement is some English skills, math skills, and really we're just looking for people that have a good work ethic. But we're also collecting resumes because we're growing. We're going to need some general office support, so people with Excel skills, Word skills, and then I'm looking for people for customer service. So again, very much Word and Excel kind of skills, as well as very good organizational skills.
So there's a broad range of different positions people
Yeah.
can go for, and
Yeah.
and somebody could come that just has a good work ethic, and you guys are willing to train them and kind of get them going.
Yep. I've had some young people come by today that are just graduating, and I love the idea of hiring somebody that just finished at Clark University with a degree in accounting, because I think that they bring a certain openness to the way of approaching something. Right.
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't want to tell somebody how to do their job. I'd rather try to tell them what needs to get done and let them find a successful conclusion for that. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the event today?
Oh, I've been pleasantly surprised, really. We weren't really sure what to expect. We've never done this before. We didn't bring enough business cards. We've given them all out.
Yeah, we had a huge
We have
crowd.
a whole stack of resumes, and we've given out cards for people to go on our website and apply online. So we were just sitting there. I was talking with the HR administrator, and we were saying how really happy we are that we came today.
And how were the hot dogs? A little overcooked?
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh,
I didn't
all
have a hot dog, but my colleague did, so she liked them.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time
Yes.
to talk to us.
My
and,
pleasure.
And good luck finding.
Thanks for setting up a good operation.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Another nice job interviewing, Sean.
Oh, thank you. And I just wanted to kind of highlight too that was both companies were, weren't looking for specific previous skills. Both of them were willing to take somebody that had a good work ethic or a good, just good personal skills,
Yeah.
communication skills, and willing to work with them and train them. So I thought that was pretty cool that both of them were stressing that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the things, too, that people have less and less chance to actually practice on a day-to-day, level. So, like when, because, the job market now, job search process does include, it goes towards, online and all that. So less chance to really kind of mingle, if you will, and to practice some of those networking skills. That's why, building rapport. So that's why it's great for folks to go out to networking events. Speaking of networking.
Wow, these are seamless today.
Seamless.
We hope.
So speaking of that, we do have a couple of guests joining us live via phone by conference. This, I think, is the first ever working lunch conference call. We have two guests joining us, and we're going to be talking about an upcoming event.
Special
here.
day. Very
Special day. Yeah, it's Manufacturing Day on October 4th, and I believe that's actually an international designation. But we do have joining us now. Bob, do we want to link them in?
I think they're all set. Let's
we
find
have
out.
Lisa Oden from the Massachusetts Manufacturing Extension Partnership, where she's a project manager there, and we have Kathy Wrench, who's the dean for the School of Business, Engineering, and Technology at Quinsigamond Community College. Lisa and Kathy, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Well, look at this technology, and I have to thank our producer Bob Zukowski for figuring this one out.
Yeah, well done, Bob.
So October 4th is Manufacturing Day. Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about what the day's meant to do, or why there's a need for Manufacturing Day?
Well, manufacturing is such an important part of the national economy and the state economy.